Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and today we are talking about another placement, which is the placement of the moon in the fifth house of the natal chart. Okay, so we're going to be discussing what this means, what this represents. Okay, so firstly, let's just say, okay, that there's different types of, different types of charts you can do and different house systems you can use. I personally use equal house system, okay, for the houses, just because I found it to be more accurate. Okay, now you can use whatever system you feel fits the best for you, whatever system you prefer. All right. Um, Now, what do we have when we have the moon in the fifth house? So the moon, I usually describe it as the emotional landscape. Okay, it's like you see a mountain, and the moon is like the mountain of your emotions. It's your emotional landscape. It's everything that characterizes you emotionally. So the moon, it's your true deepest emotions. Your true deepest feelings, your deep emotions. And so the moon is also associated with the home, right? Because once again, it's very much connected to your true deepest feelings. So the sense of home, anything that reminds you of home, that's the moon, right? Because once again, your true deepest feelings. So the moon also represents the home, or anything that makes you feel at home. Anything that feels familiar to you is also represented by the moon. That's why I've also personally just found this to be true, that the moon can very much describe natural talents that you may have. Okay, depending on which house and which sign the moon is at in your chart. So the moon can describe natural talents because, once again, it it is associated with the sense of home, the sense of things that are familiar to you. So certain things that come naturally to you, certain natural talents you have, will be represented by the moon as well. All right. So that's something you can see with the moon. And if you believe in past lives and those sort of things, the moon can indicate past lives. Okay, because it's going to describe things that are familiar to you, your home, your past emotionally as well. And so that's mostly the moon. So the moon is this emotional energy. It is not a rational planet, okay? It is a very emotional planet. So you can really expect a lot of feelings. The moon controls the tides, and the tides are always changing. So the moon is always changing, and the moon travels very fast. Across your charts. If you do, for example, transit charts, the moon always travel very fast, right? So the moon is a very changeable energy. She has this changeable energy, all about the emotions. And then you have the fifth house. Now, each house, as you may know, is connected to a specific sign, all right? So you have the first house, which is Aries. The second house is Taurus. The third house is Gemini. The fourth house is Cancer. And the fifth house is Leo. Okay, so the fifth house is the house of Leo. Now, what is Leo? Leo is connected to the heart, right? So the Leo energy is a very passionate energy. It is an energy of love. All right, it's an energy that's very passionate, that's very childlike. You know what I mean? With children, they love to play, they love to do things they like. That's kind of the Leo energy, right? It's this energy of passion and joy and love, right? This Leo energy: passion, joy, love, creativity. So the fifth house does have this energy of Leo, right? So the fifth house will represent the things associated with Leo. So it is a house of joy. It is a house of fun, of this childlike spirit. It is a house of fun, of joy, of children. Okay, literally children as well. So it is a house that represents children. It is a house that represents this heart energy, right? The things that bring you joy, the things that bring you fun, the things that you do from your heart chakra, right? And and so it is also a house of creativity, right? Because that's Leo, and it is a house of right, of self-expression. That's Leo energy, which is ruled by the sun, right? So it's all about the sun, self-expression, expressing your true self, expressing your identity, right? Expressing yourself creatively, right? So that's all fifth house things: fun, joy, children, and very essentially this fun, positive energy, and also this energy of self-expression, this energy of creativity, of expressing your true self, who you truly are, right? That's the fifth house. And so because it is this fun energy, it can also indicate comedy, you know so when you have your moon coming into the fifth house, this is a very interesting placement. You have a very emotional energy also with the moon coming into the Leo house, which is ruled by the sun. So it's almost like this combination of the feelings and the action, right? Because the sun is more of an active planet, so it's kind of like you have this combination of a passive and an active energy at the same time. Um, so that there may be a balance there, where you can act on your feelings, but you also um, yeah, you act on your feelings, right? You feel something, but you also like to be active with what you feel. That's something you can see with this placement. But so your emotional landscape coming into the fifth house, right? Um, your true deepest emotions coming to the fifth house. This is a placement that's going to bring you um, this, your emotional landscape, your true self is very connected to a sense of joy, to a sense of fun, to a sense of self expression, to a sense of creativity. So you are someone who deep within you, you are someone who is positive, right? So fun, optimistic energy with the Leo energy of the fifth house. You are someone who, deep within yourself, you are a fun person. You like to live out positive feelings. You like to enjoy positive feelings. You like to enjoy you like to access emotionally the happy side of life. You like to embrace optimism, you like to embrace joy, and you like to embrace creativity and self expression, right? As part of your emotional landscape. So, this also means that, once again, the moon, the things that are familiar to you, the things that are your deepest true emotions, right? So these are things that are familiar to you. So you may feel very connected to anything that allows you to express yourself creatively, to express your true self, right? You're going to feel a deep sense of connection to certain forms of self expression, certain forms of creativity, certain forms of entertainment. May that be dance, painting, it could be anything, because then again, the Leo energy, it's creativity, and it's not a specific form of creativity, right? Because we may have placements like Gemini, it is very focused on communication. With the fifth house, it is creativity on a broad level, right? Creativity from a very holistic perspective. So, yeah, with this placement, you feel very emotionally connected, and you feel like it is truly part of who you are to express yourself creatively or to express your true self somehow. And this is something that you feel very connected to, and that you feel very familiar with, right? You feel very natural doing these things because that's your moon. You feel very natural in areas of self expression, you feel very natural in areas of just demonstrating and putting out there your true self. So this is something that you feel very connected to, and that you feel you can do in a natural way. Now, and you have this very nice sense, and you have this deep inner world that's very connected to a sense of joy. You know, your deep, your deepest self is very connected to the sense of joy and positivity in life. That's something you look for within yourself. And once again, right? This is because this is house of fun. This is the house of creativity, entertainment, comedy. You may have a natural talent for comedy as well, right? So entertainment of any kind is shown here. Okay, maybe have talents in certain forms of entertainment. All right, with this placement now, because this is the house of fun, this is the house of enjoyment. You may also have, you may feel also very inclined to have children if that's something you want. That's something you may really find with this placement. A natural inclination towards children, being able to take care of children or wanting to have children, because especially if you are a woman, um, having your moon, which is also the indicator of fertility. Okay, guys, this is something very important. You shouldn't forget this. The moon is fertility. Okay, that's why you have this, this association, right, with the moon cycles and the woman's cycles, right? Woman's cycles, the same number of days. So the moon is the feminine energy, right? The intuitive fertility, right? The shape of the moon, right? It's round. So the fertility aspect coming in here, especially if you are a woman and you want to have children, this the moon in the fifth house really want to make you have children, okay? And you'll feel naturally inclined to take care of children, or you may, just in your life overall, even if you're not able to have children, you may really enjoy taking care, or taking on a role of taking care of other people's children. This aspect, or helping children somehow, you may feel very inclined to help children, because then again, the moon is your deepest emotions, what you feel connected to. With the fifth house, you may feel very drawn to helping children strongly and specifically, right? And so with this aspect, right, this is something you can find here. Now, as I was saying before, you may also find that when you may have a girl, okay, because the fifth house is children already. The moon is fertility. The moon is a feminine energy. If you do have children, you might have the possibility of having a girl, because then again, the moon is the feminine energy, right? But that's a little detail there. Now, with as I was saying, right, this is the house of entertainment, fun, joy. So it is also the house of romance, right? But it is like a light-hearted romance, a romance that feels fun and flirty. For the fifth house, guys, you can write this down. The fifth house, flirty. Okay, that's the flirty energy, because this is house of fun, romance, of that joyful childlike energy, right? It's kind of like when you're a little kid and you want to say to your crush that you like them. That's the fifth house energy, right? So when you have your moon coming into the fifth house, you'll find that maybe emotionally you really like to look for connections that feel fun, that feel flirty, that feel entertaining, that feel like an adventure, a bit of an adventure, not like weird adventure. That would be more like other planets. But with the fifth house, it's like a fun, lighthearted romance. But at the same time, because this is your moon, it's a deep emotional connection. So you may find that you look for romance with deep emotions, the moon attached to it. So it is very rom-com type of love here with the moon in the fifth house, which is like, there's always like a funny element to it, but there is also like a very big element of I love you very deeply. You are who I want to spend the rest of my life with. That's the moon, right? So this aspect, you have this connection between the moon, which is a very deep emotional energy, with the fifth house, which is a romance, flirty energy, right? So you have a little bit, you can have a clash a little bit of these two energies. Sometimes you may feel a little bit, mixed with what you're looking for, but they do come together, right? This is what's happening here. So they do come together, and you will find that you like a fun, flirty romance, but you also want a ring on it. So this is a lovely aspect, Your deep, truest self, your deepest, truest emotions are very connected to a sense of self-expression, are very connected to a sense of creativity, so you do have a deep desire and you have a deep connection to expressing yourself, expressing your true self creatively or through other means, and you feel very natural doing these things. And and yeah, you have a very um, optimistic, you have a very fun view on life. When you truly think about things deeply, you find that deep within you, you are someone who believes in joy, who believes in positivity, who believes in bringing um, these feelings to the world. Deep within you, you are someone who very much is connected to this sense of finding joy in life, this sense of finding positivity and finding an optimism in life. All right, finding happiness as well. So this is some of the things you can see with the moon in the fifth house. Now, there's other things for sure that maybe I didn't mention here. If you have any extra questions about this aspect, for example, something I didn't mention or something maybe you see here, okay, because there's always things that I may not, necessarily mention in a video. So if you have any extra questions, you can leave a comment down below and I'll answer. And do take into account, right, that the moon may have other aspects and this will influence the expression of the moon. Okay, so if you have the moon with a square, there may be a bit of a tension in some of these areas of your life represented by the fifth house. There may be a little bit of a tension in regards to your self expression, your creativity, if you have a square, or a tension in regards to romance, a tension in regards to, in regards to, this joyful energy somehow. Um, so you need to look at all the aspects. Or if you have an opposition, let's say you have moon in opposition with Jupiter, it's going to be a bit of a more extreme energy because Jupiter is going to bring a very expansive energy. And if it is opposing the moon, even though Jupiter is usually a beneficial planet, if it opposes the moon, there can be a bit of a back and forth, with how you express this energy, because two planets are fighting for the spot. But so if you wanna ask me about any specific aspects, you can leave a comment down below. If you'd like a full analysis of your chart, the information is down below, okay, for a reading. And I hope you enjoyed this interpretation, guys, and I'll see you in the next reading. Take care.